Hello, I wanted to report back about my retreat that I led with Haley this past weekend. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, I hope to continue to do things like this. That was really cool. So thank you for the opportunity. We had three participants in our retreat. We had two girls who are moving to the Middle East with Haley and me, and then another girl that I've been discipling for about 3 years. And we went to a beautiful Japanese garden and coffee farm, and it was just a lovely, perfect day. I feel like we really achieved the aim of our retreat. Our participants left feeling rested and refreshed and feeling closer to the Lord, so that was really cool. They also came away with a deeper understanding of how they can be more fully present with God and with others. And I think, too, we equipped them with ways to help them to become more aware of Jesus walking with them every day. So it's great. Some of our required elements that we did, well, we did all of them, but Haley led us in Lectio Divina through the Luke passage, and that was great. The participants enjoyed that. We also shared a meal together at the garden. We did that after the participants did a wonder walk, and we asked them to use their five senses to become more aware of Jesus, and we debriefed that over our meal. And at the end of the retreat, we were able to change locations and share communion together. And our retreat was 5 hours long. So we anticipated our audience by knowing that each of the girls that we asked are people who really enjoy to verbal process and to be in small groups and to talk about Jesus. And so we kept that in mind as we planned our day, because we wanted to give the girls ample time to have time on their own for reflection, but also to come together and talk about what they were thinking and feeling. We communicated for about a week before, just asking the girls if they would be a part of it in person, just kind of sharing the heartbeat behind it, as well as some of what we were planning to do, and then communicate it over text message. We helped them enter into the retreat by just giving some introduction and explanation about what we were doing and what we've been learning in the Masters up until that point. And then we sent them on a wonder walk so they could still their hearts before the Lord and then refocus to start the day. And God bless Haley. She remembered to ask them to turn off their cell phones. So I think that was really helpful for them to have the time without their phones. That was great. On the way, we helped to kind of create the atmosphere before we got there to kind of set the tone a little bit by all driving together in my car. And I think that was just really fun. I have a Jeep, and so we just drove in my car, just talking and laughing along the way through Hawaii. What's not to love about being here? So that was great. And then we showed up to a really beautiful and tranquil atmosphere in the garden and on the coffee farm. So we laid out our blankets, and I think it just helped to set a really peaceful and relaxing atmosphere that we were hoping for. And so I shared that we had our participants go through Luke 24, so they engaged that passage with Lectio Divina. So we explained to them, we gave the context for the passage with while doing Lectio for the passage before it to kind of set the tone. And so I think it was a little bit easier for them. We'd already sent them on a wonder walk, so they were already trying to use Jesus or use their senses to encounter the Lord through that. So that was great. I think that the meal and communion added quite a bit of value, but I might be biased. It was probably my favorite part of what we did. We just had a simple meal, picnic, charcuterie boards, and each of the girls came back from their wonder walk just expressing how beautiful it was and how it helped them just to feel at peace and able to slow down and take it all in just because of the setting that we had created for them. We were able to create space for both personal reflection and corporate sharing by just giving them tons of time to be able to do the Lectio as well as the Wonder Walk. And so by the time they came back, they were ready for corporate sharing. I think that each of them really felt like they were able to process through a lot in just the time that they had to slow down and think and just be with the Lord. So we, again, knew that the girls really enjoyed verbally processing, and so we made sure to give them the time that they needed alone, because some of them are introverts and need to kind of know what they want to say before they can say it. But we also gave time for them to come back, and we just allowed the conversation to kind of flow as it would. Haley and I would maybe prompt the conversation if it was sort of starting to lull or we wanted to go a different way. But the girls were more than willing to share. I don't know if I would say that they stepped out of their comfort zone, but they definitely gained new insight in that Holy Spirit or God created them with their 5 senses, and that He really wants to encounter them through that. So it was great. I think some significant takeaways we found out because we asked them, and they each shared how they wanted to continue to implement either the Lectio or the Wonder Walk in their lives. I think all of them would say that the slowing down in Kona was the main thing, that we are very busy here, and that they want to be more intentional to stop and slow and listen to the prompting of Holy Spirit when they're hearing it. Excuse me. Some of the girls talked about wanting to implement Lectio into their quiet times and begin to read the Bible in that way. I think that also knowing, I just said this, but that God created their 5 senses and that He really wants to encounter them through that was really eye-opening for them as well. And then just to be more aware and obedient to what Holy Spirit was saying and respond to that instead of responding out of how they think people will act or respond to them being obedient to the Lord. We evaluated the retreat by debriefing it at the end of the day and then sending a brief email questionnaire for the girls. I think for myself, what I learned is that I am really uniquely made, and that each person that was a part of our retreat also is uniquely made, and that something that might be revelatory for me might not be so profound for someone else. I think I probably knew that before, but again, I was just reminded of that on our retreat. I discovered that Jesus really wants me to slow down and take in the creation that He created for me, and that creation is crying out to Him, and that the Lord's desire really is for me to stop and worship with creation, worship the Lord. Yeah, He just wants me to be with Him. I'm really satisfied with how the retreat went. I think it went really well, especially after hearing feedback from the girls, and then even being around campus and other people asking if I would do another one and if they could be a part of it. So it was cool. I think we set it up well with just going through the 10 questions and being sure that we were covering everything that we needed to do before so we wouldn't miss anything. But I also feel like we did it very naturally and with ease, and it didn't feel like we were like on a structure, but it just was quite light and easy and enjoyable. And then the closing statement of information alone does not transform. I think that a really great takeaway for me and the girls as well from the feedback we got was that the importance of setting aside time to be still before the Lord in ways outside of my quiet time, like silent retreats or different retreats that will help reawaken my love for Jesus, as well as to help me refocus on my awareness of Him. So I feel like it was successful. It was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy some of the pictures that I'm posting. Thanks.